Now, at what FiO2, and I presume all of you are now convinced that you need to use an oxygen air blender in the delivery room for a preterm especially.
30% C.
Okay, Dr. Anand. Fantastic.
Sir, can I answer?
Yes, Dr. Raju.
So for preterm babies, it should be between 21 to 30%.
For me, it's 21 to 30%.
Who said that 21? Fire. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I will go
For a preterm, it should be 30%.
20%. Less than 28 weeks, it's 30%. Sir. 28 to 32 weeks, it's 21 to 30%.
I would go with Dr. Anant and Dr. Priyadarshini. You are absolutely right. See, these are the European guidelines which have been again revised now. In a term baby, you can start with room air, 21%. In a gestation between 28 to 31 weeks or 32 weeks or so, you can start in between 21 to 30%. But gestation less than 28 or equal to 28 weeks, you start to 30%. Then you up down it or low grade it depending on the saturation which you're monitoring with a preductal oximeter. Okay. Are all of you using oxygen saturation monitoring in the delivery room for preterm?
Yes.
Yes. EP's resuscitator we are using.
Yes.
EP's resuscitator is, yes, that's important. I'm talking pulse oximeter. Are you using it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Fantastic. Very good.
But blender is not available at all centers. We get babies from outborn babies. And blender is available at only one center.
I'm absolutely agreeing with you, Dr. Anand, with your vast experience. You must have also realized many small hospitals and small nursing homes even now use this oxygen directly, which is not right, or they use only room air. Blender is very important. In fact, one of your colleagues who called me and messaged me also about using a blender after the initial modules are presented, I have suggested some very low-cost blenders which are now available in the market, which are very reliable, and all of you should start using blenders when we use oxygen in the delivery room, especially for preterm babies. Without that, you may be doing something harmful to the baby, and also medico-legally, it is not right for you to be using 100% oxygen. So, can I get to the next slide, please? So,
sir, please suggest the names of the blenders in the group also, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just go back on the slide. So, basically, this is what Dr. Anand and we were discussing Priyadarshini, that you start at 30% and you can bring it down if the saturation is maintained well. The target saturation for a preterm baby should be how much? Any of you can unmute and tell me?
90 to 94.
No. That is when the baby is stable in the NICU or when you're ventilating or doing CPAP or respiratory supports are being given. Yes. But I'm talking the delivery room after the baby is born, and the first 5 minutes, there's a lot of oxygen fluctuations happening. If you see the golden hour module, they have given the recent ECOR guidelines for target saturation, and the oxyprom studies have been published. What should be the target saturation at 5 minutes for a preterm baby?
So at 5 minutes, it should be between 85%, 80 to 85%.
No, it's 70. For a preterm, it's lower.
But the most important concept here, which I wanted to clarify, is you have to start thinking of using a blender, and you cannot directly start the child on 100% oxygen. Please do that, and it's necessary for the days to come. And then you can wean it down. It depends on the oxygen saturation, and put it in the preductal finger. So either you can put it on the palm here, or you can wrap it around the wrist on the right hand. That's the best way to do. Now, Dr. Anant, if you are using a pulse oximetry in the delivery room, what is the pulse oximeter you're using?
Neon Codin.
Neon Codin is very good. See, all these fantastic, one of the best pulse oximeters earlier in the last decade or so. Now we have Massimo, which has got a good pulse signal extraction technology. That's very good. But for that matter, certain Indian ones are also good. They pick up signals fairly well. If you don't have any of these high-end pulse oximeters, at least use some of the local brands, which can be adaptable to the hand of a small baby with a newborn probe. I think you should use it.
MCO is reasonably good.
Yes. No, it's very good. Once you have a good kind of pulse, they're very accurate. And I think today's world in the delivery room, as you may have seen my video in the delivery room, in the kind of chapter which module on golden hour care, you can't do without a pulse oximeter. If you're going to resuscitate even a term baby for that matter. A pulse oximeter, air and oxygen blender, and warmth is a standard, and a TP's device. And